Thank you. The Defense Department, due to the money it controls, its numbers, it has a major someplace planning on what our reaction would be if we were invaded by Bangladesh, and hopefully the press won't find that out. Totally overshadows the State Department. The idea of national service, heroic service, is with the military. Musharraf wants to know what Singh Sen thinks, not his ambassador. He wants to know what the military thinks that provides him his defense outfit. What would your comments be on resolving the political and practical imbalance between the power and the diplomatic power of the Defense Department vis-a-vis the State Department? Thank you.
Boy, I think that question is right on, and I think very central to Barack Obama's line of thought. Pentagon, as a share of the national product, is within sort of plausible bounds. It's we have a ballpark $11 trillion economy, $500 billion on defense. But the imbalance in our national government is so striking. The State Department, as you say, is underdeveloped relatively. I've talked with commanders in Afghanistan who said, I would give a platoon of my soldiers for one agricultural specialist. We need to create something that uses all the elements of our national power. This is an extraordinarily powerful country in its private sector, in its civilian resources, and its capabilities. We need to integrate those with the Defense Department kinds of activities. And Senator Obama has stressed this again and again in his speeches. He would want a more muscular presence from our civilian agencies and a more integrated presence. On top of that, he stressed that we've got instruments like our foreign aid program. He would double our foreign aid assistance around the world. That has become, in some respects, even over-militarized as an activity. Something like now 22% of our foreign aid goes to military-related activities, whereas historically that number's been under 10%. So there are a lot of possibilities here. Just as a last example, we have got combatant commanders, as your comments suggest, like CENTCOM around the world, but they're not really integrated with our diplomatic missions. Indeed, what's striking, amongst other things, about CENTCOM is that, in theory, the Central Command oversees the generals in Iraq, but in part because of the problems of the Iraq policy, General Petraeus has become a single direct line from Iraq to the Congress. Barack Obama has a notion of how we could coordinate all these forces together within the United States government and create something in which civilians really are in charge, in which we would not have a concept of, well, the defense for my policy is I gave the generals everything they asked for, which is what we've heard so often from this administration, and all else aside, it isn't true, but even if it were true, it wouldn't be the right policy. Instead, it's a notion of let us unify the different strands, make a moral argument, an argument about ideas, use our aid program, use our capacity to reach out in other dimensions. And I think you'll see a redressing of that balance in the Obama administration.
Thank you, Richard. Other questions? We'll go with the one right back there.